Tailing on to our last segment, another extremely disturbing thing happened just this past week. Vietnam deactivated 86 million bank accounts overnight. Individuals who failed to submit biometric data were immediately denied access to their money. Dr. Andrew Kaufman warns this is not speculation, this is applied state-level biometric enforcement. He says, don't assume this is too extreme to happen here. With the rollout of Real ID and advanced surveillance technologies, including systems linked to Palantir contracts under the current administration, the same methodology is entirely feasible in the United States. Take a listen to his clip.
Why is Vietnam the testing ground for the new banking order? Well, recently, Vietnam imposed a requirement for a digital ID, including a biometric scan of everyone in order to have a bank account. And what they did to enforce this is they closed 86 million bank accounts and seized all of the assets in those accounts. So the owners of those accounts have no ability to do banking or access their funds because they chose not to sacrifice their privacy and submit to this biometric surveillance tracking mechanism. Well, this is not something that is going to stay in Vietnam. This is a test because if we look at, for example, what's going on with the European Central Bank and Digital ID initiative in Europe, as well as the Real ID and the CBDC system FedNow being imposed in the United States, we can see that it is coming to us as well. So what are you going to do about it?
I want to take a moment to just read this top reply to that post from Dr. Kaufman, and just think about the logic of so many people. I don't know if this person's a real person or a bot, I'm not really sure, but just think about the logic of most people when these types of things come in. I live in Vietnam. There was a few months warning. You had to go to the bank and get your biometrics taken, essentially a photo. If you didn't do it, they locked your account. Okay, so we had a few months, so that's fine because they told us, guys, like they gave us a warning. What's the big deal? It was unwelcome and annoying, but not difficult. I imagine those who didn't do it in time simply got their accounts locked until they came in and got it done. That attitude right there is exactly what happened when the government here implemented Real ID earlier this year. Yes, this is annoying, but it's no big deal. That attitude is the attitude of most people whenever governments announce a new initiative of any sort. I have to go and do this now. It's inconvenient, but at least it'll be easier moving forward once I just get this done. How many people are complying with Real ID to travel domestically already in the US? The second paragraph of that comment, quote, I imagine those who didn't do it in time simply got their accounts locked until they came in and got it done, end quote. Oh, the banks at the behest of government-imposed Know Your Customer and similar policies simply just stopped people from being able to access the money they work for until they submitted to biometric surveillance. What's the big deal? So take a listen to the rest of this thread though, it's quite interesting. The person goes on to say, this sort of thing makes me avoid depositing large amounts of money in Vietnamese banks. It's just self-preservation. All banks under all governments are one of the primary policy levers they have over people, and you should always be wary of banks no matter where you live. True. So someone then goes on to ask that person, how do you protect your money? Give me an idea, because I'm against all this personal data collection. Criminals are exempt. It's law-abiding people who will be persecuted. Listen to this very interesting response. Lots of ways. As an expat, my defenses are a working bank account in Vietnam where I don't keep too much money, and a savings account in America. I've also got some crypto and some gold at my mother's house. The strongest defense, I'm sorry to say, is to rent. Owning your own house feels really good, but it's also a target. Property taxes, special assessments, lawsuits, that sort of thing. If you're rooted in one place, you're stuck. Anything can happen. New obnoxious neighbors, natural disasters, insane local government policies. If you rent, you can just walk away from these problems. This sounds like it was written by a World Economic Forum AI bot. I like Vietnam, and the government is a lot more mild and reasonable than you would think, but I also know that can change, and if it does, I'm ready to go. So you protect yourself by having a savings account overseas. Fine. What about when that government and the next do the exact same thing? You just keep moving your money around is not the solution for more than one reason. Number one, eventually there will be no other places to do that because this is a worldwide agenda. And number two, are we just going to accept that this is how it has to be until one night millions, if not billions of people have lost access to their money across the world? Then that person says, look guys, I hate to say it, but the only solution is to give up on your dreams of ever owning anything. You'll just need to rent forever. Well, how do you pay your rent and pay your utility bills and do everything you need to do without submitting to biometric surveillance? You can't. So you better just go on with the slight inconvenience, dummies. What is this madness? This is the madness of Agenda 2030 in full swing, and let me tell you, as someone who's been debanked for journalism in the past, it is an extremely uncomfortable experience that would shake most into immediate compliance. Your money disappears overnight, you're likely at the bank the next morning doing exactly what they tell you to do. It's of course not what I did, but many would. Make no mistake, a new digital banking system is being implemented worldwide before our very eyes, while we're distracted with culture wars and government propaganda. The old system does not suit their agenda, and they want complete control over you and everything you do, say, or everywhere you go. Everything has been digitized, this has been pushed upon us, and this so-called digital age has flaws and loopholes for hackers, bugs, and viruses. Therefore, reasonable people have many reasons to pay attention to the building blocks being set up around us and oppose them with everything in us. Don't be distracted. Digitizing everything is the main agenda, and it's happening as we speak. People need to push back on this, support local businesses, use cash, have tangible assets like gold and silver. We have to establish a functioning parallel system as soon as possible before this happens to us.